Yo, what up, yo? It's your boy Shady C here. So, I'm kind of trying to knock out all my videos now because I've been busy the past few days. I got a question for Republicans. You often hear Republicans talk about, when you talk about the border, y'all always like to talk about how, well, we've got so many homeless Americans right now struggling. Yes, we do. As someone who used to be one of them. So my question for Republicans is simple. What do you want to do to help poor people? What do you want to do to help the homeless? Nothing. You don't care. It's just something to bring up. Just say it. Be honest. I always call the far left on their BS. I'm calling the right on their BS. I was watching it was a protest about ISIS and immigration. It was a far left protest. And the Republican, comes up with his little microphone and he's talking to the people. And he says, well, you got to remember, we've already got a lot of homeless Americans that are struggling. And then he holds the microphone up to the woman. She says, yeah, and we've got, the kids in cages. And they kind of went, she didn't say what I would have said. Please interview me one day, Republicans. I will sit there and say, okay. So let's say we don't legalize millions of illegal immigrants. Let's say we don't. Let's say we do build the wall and close the border. The homeless people you just brought up, the homeless Americans, the poor Americans that are hurting and struggling, how do you suggest we help them? Oh, they need to get off their feet and get a job. But it's not that easy, man. It's not that easy. Some poor people got no work experience. Some people have been lazy fucks their entire life and now they want to do better. Like, if you're a 50-year-old man, if you're 50 and you've been a piece of shit your whole life, and you finally come to the realization, you know what? I'm sick of being a piece of shit. I'm ready to be something better, a productive member of society. So you fill out your little applications. You go in your interviews. Because you're older and lack work experience, you are less likely to get employed. What do we do to that? They're trying. Do we help them? Or we just say, hey, you got to get a job. Well, I'm trying. But get a job. But I'm trying. What do we do? Do we do nothing for that 50-year-old? Do we do nothing for that 40-year-old? Do nothing for that 30-year-old? I mean, there's people who are like getting up there in age and don't have a whole lot of work experience but want that job. But they don't get hired because they lack work experience. How do we help them? See, the right, as much as I despise the far left, the right is just as bad. They bring up their buzzwords. Anytime you have a debate about the border, the right will say, well, there's people struggling right here in America. And then they kind of just like let it go. Okay, so can we help them? Are we going to help them? Or are you just using it as a wedge point? I hate when both sides do their little wedge points. They both do it. It's fucked up. So that's my question for Republicans out there. Next time you talk to someone about the border and you like to say there are struggling Americans, yes, there are. Homeless Americans? Absolutely. How do you suggest we help them?